This is a summary of the article called Mobile First Indexing or a Whole New Google, How Shopping Might Factor into the Larger Picture, Article 3 of 4. So this is the third article in a 4-part series about mobile first indexing and what we think the transition to mobile first indexing might mean in the larger picture, not just about how to optimize day-to-day, but how to optimize your strategy as a whole. This was written in February 2018, and what we know about shopping right now in particular is that Amazon and Amazon Prime have taken a pretty substantial chunk out of Google's search results or search queries that are specifically targeted at shopping. People go directly to Amazon to shop for products instead of starting at Google. More so, the battle for getting people's grocery shopping online is growing, and things like Amazon Fresh and other grocery services are also taking a large portion of people's shopping budgets. So this is a big deal, and Google doesn't think it's going to change. So we believe they think integrated cross-device shopping might be a way to regain some of the ground that Amazon has taken. So if Google can do a great job with online shopping and voice shopping, then they may be able to take back some of that market share that they've lost. We know that things like on-demand product ordering and delivery, and even like subscription services like Stitch Fix and BarkBox also indicate that people's habits are changing. They want really low friction engagement with things where they don't even have to look at what they're buying. They just have to return it if they don't like it. And that's, or they just have to wait and have a box show up and be surprised and presumably happy with everything they got, like the BarkBox model. So that's different as well. So Google's done a lot to try to make this transition easier and set themselves up for long-term success. One of the main things that they're doing is building out Google Shopping and Google Express with more integrations and features to help make it easier for users to find products in searches. And this includes image searches. So it might have missed your notice, but Google did start integrating images directly from shopping into image searches so that people could start surfacing products there. They started labeling them with a little product icon. And that might not seem like a big deal, but I think it is. It speaks to this more unified index and the ability to tag certain pieces of content as a certain category of search result, even when it's integrated with other categories of search results, like products are integrated right next to recipes and videos and GIFs, all in the image results. And so that's interesting. The other thing that's happened when they did that, it happened just before they started translating the title tags and started ranking images from all different languages kind of together to some degree. But then they also started including the little boxes of related search queries. And that's interesting. That, again, to me says that since we have related search queries in regular web search, now they're integrating them in image search. Maybe image search and web search are sharing more things in common, or maybe the related search box is helping Google help users narrow down or focus their search query or find related terms. Potentially, when you give options, like multiple choice options, that's a signal that things might be being built for voice, because the options, when you give them to a person, then Google knows what to expect, and it has an easier time parsing voice responses. So it may be something to do with that. So Google seems to have been integrating more things between Google Shopping, which has been around for a while, and Google Express. We see a lot of the same companies that are in Google Shopping now also have items in Google Express. And the difference between Google Express and Google Shopping is that Google Express is more about proximity. So you have to put in your zip code and it's finding things that can deliver to you, I think within 2 days. No, that's not right. But there are options, and there are especially grocery style options that have a much faster potential delivery because of their proximity. And Google Shopping is less based on proximity. Proximity doesn't factor in except for potentially country. As long as the company can ship to you, then it's within, it can show up as a result. And we know that the shopping results have gotten more and more robust with the carousels and the PLAs showing at the top, being more rich, more engaging, stuff like that. That is also taking away from organic results because those pictures are pretty compelling to a user who's looking for a product. Why would they search further when there's a picture of what they want right at the top? So there's a potential that there will be a merge between Google Shopping and Google Express, or a potential that Google Express will start to show results in the carousels or something like that. But it does seem like there's a lot that Google might be trying to accomplish with Google Express. The other thing that's interesting here is that Google has a shopping list feature that's been part of Google Keep for a while, which is their Notes app for Android. And now they've started replicating that and making that accessible in Google Docs as well as directly in Google Express. So you can make your shopping list and cross-device, it just kind of shows up everywhere where you might want to edit it. We think that in the long run, what this might mean is that Google is trying to surface products that they sell that they take a cut on, either from Google Shopping or Google Express, more readily for more types of searches, and that's especially true for voice. If you're thinking about this, the future of search in a voice context, then from a shopping perspective, it will probably be easier in the long run to sell products through voice search if they're listed in Google Express or Google Shopping. It's probably just all baked in. Now, of course, Amazon's a competitor there too, and neither is seeing a lot of success with people ordering through voice yet. But we do know that they're trying really hard, especially for low friction, low dollar value products like house products, cleaners, paper towels, stuff that you order a lot that most people aren't super brand sensitive to. Those may become more important in shopping. The other thing that we're seeing is that Google's been testing a lot of different kinds of integrations for payment and the wallet. So for a while, Google has had Google Wallet or Android Wallet and Google Wallet. No, Android Pay and Google Wallet. So two separate payment options, which seems to not make a lot of sense. It doesn't. It's not clear why they wouldn't consolidate. The only reason we can think of why they wouldn't consolidate is that Android users are used to Android Pay, and iOS users don't like using anything that was originally built for Android, but they easily forget that Android and Google are basically the same company or owned by the same company, and so they're happy to use something called Google Pay. Or they might be more easy to persuade to use Google Pay instead of Apple Pay. So both of the wallets seem to be undergoing a lot of changes. When you use the wallet in Google Express, the main benefit there is that it can hold all of your loyalty accounts. So for instance, if you're shopping at Walgreens and you have a Walgreens loyalty card, as long as it's set up in the wallet, all of your points get applied easily, which otherwise can be hard when you're operating through third-party sellers. So since you're not buying directly from Walmart, most Walgreens, most other companies wouldn't be able to process the loyalty accounts, but Google is trying really hard to make it so that people can still get all their loyalty points there. We think that strategically the biggest option here, or the biggest indication here, is that it's going to be important for people selling products online to watch Google Shopping and Google Express. And it may be that those options push out or the possibility for a lot of organic traffic. I think organic traffic will still be around, but it may be harder and harder if Google makes paid versions, PLAs, and any kind of Google Shopping and Google Express listing more robust and take up more space in the search result. It just may be harder to get the eyeballs and the traffic from regular organic blue links. So it may mean that companies have to kind of give in and submit their product feeds to Google Shopping or submit their product feeds to Google Express and have a cut taken from Google there, and then potentially even pay for the ads as well to get the right amount of traffic. And that's unfortunate, but it's a changing landscape. The last thing to know is that if that's not the route you take, the main thing that's going to help is going to be really strong brand awareness and accurate features lists, so that if you have the brand awareness, then people will be searching Google with the brand name, hopefully, or product-specific names that are within your brand that can't be that aren't genericized. And so if you have loyal users, high awareness, and people interested in your particular brand, then that traffic you'll still probably do just fine without having to integrate with Google Search, Google Shopping, or Google Express, or doing PLAs. But that changes marketing strategy as well, because we can't just rely on really great organic SEO to get people kind of bumbling accidentally onto our pages. It's more intentional, and it's more traditional marketing. It's not just being clever with SEO. It's getting your brand name out and really driving home the message about product features and benefits, so that people care to specifically look for your products. So this has been a summary of mobile first indexing, or a whole new Google, how shopping might factor into the larger picture, article 3 of 4. Thank you.